Welcome back to Let's Code, and in this lecture we are going to cover the backgrounds of the CSS, that how can we add the backgrounds in different and divs, different containers, and especially how can we integrate the text with the background, like a text having a background, a gradient or an image inside it, and it's the text that is visible only. So let's start. First I will open the VS Code. I have already created a file, backgrounds.html, and it is located under the learning.css, and here you can see learning underscore css, not in email, sorry. Yeah, here in the finder you can see it's under the learning.css, and learning.css is inside the intro to the web development folder. So I'm going to open that file. So here is the file is empty now, only having the title for this file, but here you can see I have created the HTML structure by using this icon and then pressed enter. Here I'm going to replace the title with the background. Yeah, and I'm going to refresh it. Now it's backgrounds. Yeah, so let's begin our lecture. Here I'm going to define a div. Yeah, it will be the div 1, and in this we are going to cover the background by background color, especially the background color part, like style. Here I'm declaring the internal CSS, and I'm going to call the div 1. And now inside it I'm going to define background color, and you can define any color you want. And here I'm going to define a width that is 100%, and then there is, I'm not going to define the height, I'm going to define the padding this time, because height is limited but padding is not limited. I can show you the difference by defining the padding first. Like I'm going to define it 60px, and here I'm going to define a text h1 that is lorem 10. Let's come back here, refresh it. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, one moment. Yeah, it's div 1, that is the naming error. Yeah, so now you can see that padding is also taking some area from here, but it's working fine, like it's having whole text. But now what happened if I go for the heading, height 60px. So let's see, I am inside it, I'm going to refresh it, and now you have seen that text is not aligned properly. So therefore I'm going to make it 100 to use the padding. Yeah, padding top and bottom, and then this is 0. Now refresh. Now there is no extra width because it's not having a padding for the left and right, but it's having the padding only for top and bottom. So that was something I want to show you, that what is the difference between the height and the padding. So I'm going to remove the height, refresh, and now it's properly in center. And the next thing we are going to cover is this color in the hexa format and RBG. So let's start from the hexa format first. Background color, yeah, and it's the HFE, and here you can see the color as well. And here you can see these two first are for the property of R, like the red. This will define the green, and this will define the blue. For example, if I go for F and F, so you can see the red is more permanent, and I'm going to change this for E and E. So now our second color, that is blue, is more permanent, and then there is the last thing, that is DDD. Yeah, so now you can see it's getting closer to the white because all three colors are on its extreme. What happened if I go for this BBB, and you can see it is now closer to yellow, but it's still white because of these two colors that are on its extreme. So I'm going to make it also B, and now it's closer to pink, and I'm going to make it B as well, and now it's closer to this because the first color and all colors are equal, so they are getting closer to the black or white. If you convert these all to FFF, it will be something like white. Yeah, so it is white now, and I'm going to change this to this one. You can actually define it in this manner. The first one is for the red, second one for the blue, and then this one is for the green. They are the primary colors also, so think about it like that. And if you don't remember these hash code, you can go for the naming, or you can use this page by clicking on this icon, and then you are having this view to change the colors. I'm going to use this color for now, and I'm going to refresh it. So here is our color, and there is another method of giving color that is also based on the primary colors, and it is RGB, the one we were talking about. And you can see it's red, green and blue. You can change any color you want to change, and you can have a final color based on all changes. So I change this to yellow, I'm going to change this to blue, and I'm going to change this to somewhat near the pink, and I'm going to refresh it. You can see there is no color because of this thing, especially because we only need one RBG, not many RBGs inside it. Be careful, sometimes VS Code make these errors. So here you can see I am going to change the numbers, but please remember that the max number is this and the min number is this. If you make them all 0, it is black, and if you make them to this color, like it's the extreme red, now we are going toward the extreme yellow, and now I'm going towards the extreme blue, and now it's white because this green is also on its extreme. And if you make it 0, then we are having the yellow color because it's the combination of green and red from the primary color. So that is how the colors work in the background color. And then I'm going to show you something very important, that's called the background image. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to define another, first I'm going to refresh it. So we are having the background. Now I'm going to define a div inside it, not there, inside it. Yeah, and I'm going to name this as image holder. Here I'm going to call it dot image holder, and the background image URL, these two dots to go out of this folder, and then find our media folder. So I'm going inside the media folder now. It's the media folder, and inside the media folder it is the image 3 I'm going to use, and I'm going to define a width just like before, and also a padding of 60px. Come inside it, refresh it, and we are having the image. As you can see, image is not fitting inside it because of our, first of all, this padding thing. So let's fix this. So but still the image is not fixed inside it. I will show you in a moment in this lecture that how to fix it, but first I'm going to show you something that is more important, that is like, so what if I remove this one and I go for there and I paste this. Now you can see that the background is having more impact on this, like it's not printing this now. And what if we go for only image, and I'm going to make the color as a background. Come here, refresh, and now the image is gone. So this is something that I want to show you, that background, the shorthand property, is more powerful as compared to the specific properties. So now come back, and we have fixed it. And now the next thing I'm going to show you, it is more important. It is gradient, and it's something wish you guys can understand better, because it's something that is awesome and it's something that we love, actually we developers love to use most of the time, but not good for the building huge websites, because sometimes it have negative impacts on colorblind people. But it is something that we are going to learn now. So let's have background. Yeah, so use the background. Then I'm going to use the word that is linear gradient, and I'm going to pass first red, then yellow, then pink, not pink, purple, the dark shades. Yeah, and now I'm going to copy this here, make it, yeah, make this one especially 0, so we don't have a padding left to right, and also the overflow. You can see this is something I want to create. I'm going to create a beer of 3 times, so we have a visible gradient. Now you can see it's taking from the top to bottom, like top is red, then this is yellow, and then this is purple. And you can do one thing more in it, that is I'm going to change its direction to left, comma, come here, refresh, and you can see now it's starting from right and going to the left, so to the left. Or you can also make it to the right, right. I hope spelling is correct. Yeah, spelling is correct, and now the direction is changed. And even you can do one thing more, that is bottom or the top, to the bottom or to the top. Yeah, so top, refresh, now it's from the top to bottom. And now something that is more interesting, that you can give it a degree, like I have passed minus 45 degree, and now you can see it's having a till here, and I can show you it will increase if I go for something called 90 degree, not 90, something near the 87. Come here, refresh, and now you can see it's having a more straight, because of this 90, near 90 degree. And even what if I make it 70, I'm going to refresh it, you can see the till is increased. So that is something I want to show you. And even it's not limited to this, you guys can have multiple backgrounds, like background radial gradient, and inside the radial gradient I'm going to copy this, paste it, not using this one, but I will show you why. Refresh, and now it's having a circular gradient inside it. To show it more clearly, I'm going to make this diff of 60 px, not using the padding for it, using the height for it, and height is also 60 px. Come here, refresh, and now you can see what is the radial gradient. And also I'm going to comment this and show you this, so you guys can see what is the linear gradient. So now the last one gradient that we are going to use, that is actually something called, I'm going to comment this as well, I'm going to create another background yeah, it is, I think it is not supported by my this one, but I will show you it. It's like conic gradient. I hope this will work, but if it is not supported by my browser, but you guys can search on it. It's something like a progress bar. I can show you it here for your understanding, like conic gradient CSS, and here is it. Yeah, so here you guys can see it is something like this. I hope this will work also on my site. I'm copying this, and here I'm going to paste it. So now let's go back to our browser and refresh it. Yeah, it worked, only this text was not being supported by my browser, that was conic gradient. As I typed it, it was not being supported at that moment. You guys have seen the different color. but you can see it now. Sorry, yeah, let me remove this, and you can see that it is not showing an automated one for this because it is not something that is supported automatically, but you guys can go for it like that. And here I'm going to show you something more important, that is red 70%, and then there is a gray, yeah, that is 200%, and there is a space. Come here, refresh. You guys can see there is a mixture, but how can you stop it? I can show you that as well. I'm going to copy this and I am going to paste it here, comma, and I'm going to make this 70. Let's come here, refresh. You guys can see this is like this now. And now I'm going to do one thing more interesting, that is I'm going to provide it a border radius, yeah, border radius of 50% to make it circular. Come here, refresh, and now it's circular. I can go and make it a bit white, and also this one white. Sorry, let's come here, yeah, white. Come here, refresh, and now you can see it is a pie chart, somewhat near a pie chart. And you guys can go here and define something called yeah, diff dot container, yeah, container enter, and it is 70%. Come here, not an image holder, sorry, copy this inside the gradient. Come here, refresh, it's on the top. But what you guys can do, you guys can come here and create something that is called, yeah, so that will be called like display flex, yeah, and justify content to center, comma, align items to center. What this will do, I will show you in next lecture in detail, but now I'm just showing you how to make this 70% in the center, so you guys don't have any problem in the end. Let's come here, oh sorry, yeah, refresh it. Now you can see it's here, it's almost in center, but then this is the text align center. Come here, refresh it, and then even one more thing we need to do is margin 0 auto to make this one center. This is now in center, and you guys can increase the font size. I will make it 70 px. Font weight, not a style, the weight is bolder. Come here, refresh. Now you can see it is more visible. And what I am going to do next is something that is background, and I'm going to make the background white. Come here, refresh, it's white here. Even to make it look better, what I'm going to do, I am going to assign it a width that is 80%, and then a height that is also 80%. Come here, refresh. Now you guys can see it's on the top. What I can do, I can go here and I can make its border radius, copy, paste, center, so the border radius is in center. And now you guys can see what is the difference between padding and the height. And yeah, the last thing I'm going to show you is something that is called changing this to, yeah, to center. Center is also a diff, you guys can use it. It will also align the things center. And this is how the one moment, this is how the things like progress bars are drawn on something. And here I'm going to making it here, Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide it a padding, not the gradient but to the this one, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to increase the font size to 140, and I'm coming back here. Oh, it actually goes the size of the container, so remove this once and refresh it. Now it's an owl shape and I don't want it like that, so I'm going to assign it a height of 60%. Refresh. Now it's actually doing wrong there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign it a height of 50, and even I can make it smaller to 40. So I hope this will fix the size problem. 55 I think will best suit this. Yeah, so this is how those amazing progress circles are done. And one thing that is more important is something that is repeating linear gradient. I am going to show you in this lecture, but I am thinking this lecture is getting too long, so let's make it a part of the next lecture, and we will cover the background images, background positioning, background repeat, attachment, and especially how can we add this special gradients inside our text. So be there with me for the next lecture, and thank you so much for being with me in this lecture. And I will share this content file, this code file, and the whole playlist for this HTML, CSS, intro code with you in the description. So please visit the description for the details. Thank you so much.